Welcome back everyone to the Minecraft Railroad Challenge, where today we are going to start with this bridge here, which is lacking support at the moment. And the last time I did a support for a bridge, I made it out of cobble to fit in with what I have here. But I was thinking that this time I am going to build this using smooth stone and stone stairs. These are things that are new with the 1.14 update. Smooth stone. Now, people used to call regular stone smooth stone. That used to be pretty common, and I'm sure there are some people who are going to have trouble breaking that habit. It's never been called smooth. The regular stone's never been called smooth stone as far as I know by Mojang, but people have been doing that for a while. But now smooth stone is now what we used to have with the stone slabs. The old stone slabs are using the textures of what now is smooth stone. And stone stairs is regular stone. Unfortunately, I don't think there are any smooth stone stairs, so that's why I didn't do any of those. So let's see. If I do this right, and let's see, get some smooth stone here. There you go, some smooth stone blocks. Let's see how this will look. I could always come up with some other idea for the well, first off, that stopping right there just looked out of place. There you go. Have that go a little bit further along. Guess I don't like how the stone stairs work with it. It'd be nice if I had some. How about if I use smooth stone slabs? Because I know those exist because the smooth stone stairs, of course, is something that slabs is something that's been in the game for a pretty long time. So let me try substituting that. Not perfect, but better than what we had before. For the next one, I'll check to see how it looks with cobble stairs, and then I can make a comparison between those and see which one I like better. There we have our three options. We have the smooth stone on the left using a slab, then we have stairs. First off with stone brick, and then with cobblestone. Now I like how the cobblestone works because it blends in with the main bridge, and you almost feel as if the bridge is slotted around the pillar. And I like that effect more than the other two. Therefore, I'm going to replace these two with cobblestone stairs and do the rest of the pillars in that manner. There you go. That goes all the way across until we hit the end over there. So our bridge is now complete, which means now we need to get this little bit over here. I'm now doing the cover that we're going to have on here. That was just to allow me to... Oops, that was not the right way. We want the stairs to be to the lower part, not the upper part. So that's, we want that and that. Okay, that's the way we want it. Good. And now we can continue along on our way to continue with our cover, and of course getting rid of that. And of course we'll have to repeat the operation when we get over there. I think I have it all done now. All the way across here we've got our lanterns, we've got our powered rails, we have our ceiling. We still need, of course, the acacia fences along the side so that it will be safe from mobs getting in, but outside of that we are clear all the way down to station number 3, which is right here. Good. Now, of course, we have the interchange here, and we have the powered rails all the way through, so we go in both directions. The last segment, we can get away with only one side of rails. I did start putting on a second side, but that doesn't go all the way. But when I come back down on this side of the rail, it will put me on the proper side when I get to here, so I don't have to worry about which side I'm on. In that case, it's only on the earlier ones where I have a bit of a problem. So with this all done, now I can make my station. And what would it be like? And what is the purpose of this station? Of course, we need a purpose here, right? Because the first one, of course, served the village. The second one had a well there, and it also has the zombie farm. But what's here? Really, not much. It's in the middle of nowhere, in the desert, with absolutely nothing around here. Well, I'll have to come up with something, and if not, I'll just build a very, very, very simple area, and probably no one ever does actually come out here. That whenever this thing stops, they just press the button and go on. It's just to give the wheels a rest or something like that. Hold on one moment. I also have to worry about this. Another bridge. That's right, I need another bridge going from down there all the way across to here. Fortunately, it's a much smaller bridge than the other one, meaning it's a shorter in the height in which I have to cover, so I won't have to go through a great deal of trouble when I build the supports going all the way through here. Now, the first one I had in cobblestone, as I mentioned earlier, and the second one, you saw that earlier in the episode, where I had the combination of the cobble and the smooth stone. I think here I will use andesite, not polished andesite, just regular andesite, and of course andesite and andesite stairs, and let's see how that looks. We will start right here, so drill some andesite here, andesite stairs, good, and then what's the best way to get to the other stair position? Okay, get rid of this, and then should be able to get this in without too much trouble at this point. Good. Yeah, let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's try the second one, and let's do this for a few pillars worth and see if I still like how it looks. Not too bad. I think that will work. So I have to propagate it to the rest of the way around, get some more andesite for that. And while I was looking at that, I noticed this little bit here. Not sure what's down here. If there's anything useful, but perhaps well, there's some andesite down here. But other than a little bit of andesite, if there's anything useful down here that maybe give some sort of justification for the nearby station, we'll have to see. None of those caves had anything particularly interesting in them, so obviously nothing to spark anyone's interest, but as I was looking around the area, I saw that little bit of orange up there. And of course, orange means temple. Now, I don't think that there is much in a desert temple that could make it a reason to come here, because I tried that as a justification at the previous stop, I believe. And eventually, of course, found the real reason on there, but maybe there'll be something inside of here at least that we could utilize, even if it's not going to be anything useful justification-wise. And of course, let's hope we're not going to run into creepers all over the place. Let's find out what's down here then. Alright, well, it looks bright enough down there at least. So we won't have to worry about... I was just worried about these places ever since that time when I came to one of these things and a skeleton spawned way down at the bottom, and let's just say the results were rather explosive. Now that I made it down here, let's see what's in the chest. Iron, never heard. Ooh! A notch apple. I wonder if that's my first one. I have a couple of regular golden apples. I don't know if that's my first notch apple. If it is my first one, I could throw that into the loom and get something out of that. Let's see. Well, bones, I've got plenty of those, and gunpowder. Of course, I have all this TNT from this one and from the other one. Oh, let's see. Let's see what we have here. Diamond horse armor. Of course, that means going out and getting a horse. Now, the horses, I think, are out to the east. So that's not really all that weird on that. And a couple of golden apples. Zombie flesh is useless. And yeah, not exactly what I'll call the greatest stuff. No enchanting book. It'd been nice if we had something like a mending book or something like that, but you can't get everything. Let's try that. Good, and let's try that. And now let's get back up. Let's get back to the area. This doesn't look like a place that is going to be the great tourist trap of the region. And I have to take a little bit of light here so it doesn't turn into a creeper trap of any type either, because we don't want creeper traps around here. Well, yeah. Nothing really great and impressive. So no reason to have this station out here in the middle of nowhere, but the rules of the challenge says we are going to have a station here, and we are going to have one in that case. I think I may have finally found something that's a little bit interesting. And this looks like red sand down here. Now, unfortunately, I think this is just outside of the limit for gathering resources for any of the stops, unless it stretches out to reach the other one or something like this, but I think that's unlikely. There's also a pretty small area here. That's rather strange. So it's a little bit of interesting landscape to discover. Of course, we have more of this acacia. I've got acacia all over the place. This place seems to be one big area of sand and acacia. It's sort of a theme for this area. Well, we do have those areas where we ran into swamp and the like. But you see, obviously, it's the first time I've loaded this area because all these cactuses are still at the beginning stage. Now there. Ooh. I presume we're in Badlands here? Let's see. Well, let's see. Red sand, yeah, Badlands. Yes, we're in Badlands here. So if I needed any terracotta, this is a great place to mine it. Not too sure where I can... how much of it I can actually use, though. As I said, it does seem to be not really in character for any of the places, though. And we have a plains here, which is right at our border. Actually, I don't want to go too deeply into a plains area because a plains area could potentially have a plains village, and when I get to later snapshots, I'd want to go in and check them out. Right now, I think the snapshot that has the updates to the plains villages isn't stable enough, so I'm in not the most recent week's snapshots, but in the weeks before that, because they seem to be in a nice place in there. But when they get to the one where the plains are at a nice stable point where they've gotten rid of the bugs that they have, because I think there are a couple of bugs in the latest snapshots that I wouldn't want to carry over. Yeah, I'm trying to find a reasonably stable point. When things look like they're stable or something like that, that's when I like to upgrade to a particular one, or if there's a feature that I must have or whatever. Because I certainly don't want to break this world and all of that. This is, is this anything interesting, or just more of the stuff that has me saying, hey, anything around here? Of course, I have to be careful with what I do because, ooh, we have all this. Now, that was the most interesting thing I'd say has been that little bit of Badlands I saw in there. I'll have to see if I can do anything. Now, maybe, well, I was about to say that maybe this could be advertised as a stop for Badlands, their equivalent to Badlands National Park, but if you look on here, the terminus stop seems to be a little bit closer to the Badlands area than this stop is. You can just go due south from there. So that could be a destination then, is maybe the Badlands. But then I don't want to mine it all up then if it's a major destination, unless it's by someone who's mining terracotta. But it seems like, oh, that's about 256 blocks, maybe 200 blocks there. Yeah, so it's not close enough in order to use it for building materials or anything like that. Too bad. I think I'm going to allow the final stop to use materials from a wider radius than the 3 intermediary stops. I think that would be nice to show how significant the final stop is. And the final stop then could be servicing areas that are nearby, because I believe there are plains or something like that beyond the final stop there. So this could be the end of the desert line that leads into there. And perhaps some mode of transportation going south, perhaps maybe donkey rides or horse rides or something like that that go to the south that lead into the Badlands. And I think that will allow things to be a little bit more interesting. But of course, that's all for the final stop. Next episode, we need to worry about this stop. Now, during the previous one, I had things very tight in because of the cavern that I went down in order to get all those materials that I wanted. But I think here I want a wider area to go all the way around here. And if I have this wider area, now I don't want to go overboard in it because this is only a minor stop. In fact, the most minor stop I could think of, because I can't think of anything useful in this area. And I can't think of any way to fake anything that sounds reasonably useful. Maybe I'll come up with something, but that's unlikely. Next time, I think I'll just build a simple, probably rectangular area that will serve as a stop here. And hopefully I could get the acacia fences come all the way down to here, but for the time being, let's just worry about getting the structure of the station and seeing what we could do with it to attract people here, because it's certainly not anything else that's of interest around here. We'll see what that is in the next episode of the Pineleaf Railroad Challenge.